Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Abul Qasim, how are you doing?
Do you speak Uzbek or?
No, I'm Pakistani.
You're Pakistan. Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
All right, likewise, yeah. All right, Amina.
Assalamu alaikum. Yaxshimisiz?
Alaikum assalam. Rahmat. O'z qalaysiz?
Yaxshi, rahmat. Qilmasizlar.
Okay, hey Samari, our Amira.
Assalomu alaykum.
Va alaykum assalom. O'zingiz ham o'zbekcha tushunasiz?
Ha, lekin ko'p gapirmayman.
Okay, no problem. Anyway, we are going to have our class in English. What's your name?
Amira?
Amira. Amira is your name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Amira, actually, this is our first meeting. You know, I heard about you from my friend, Mr. Bahadir. And yesterday, when I was chatting with your mother, I learned that you are preparing for IGCSE, right?
Yeah.
So you are in grade 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So Amira, let's do like this. I think your parents first wanted me to give you a trial lesson, okay? So it's like, just feel that we are going to have a class now. Maybe it's about 30 minutes. And after that, I will tell you how I'm going to teach you, okay? And what I'm going to teach you, because right now I don't know your level, okay? I don't know at school you are really good in math, or really you need help, or what do you expect from me? I should know this very well, okay? So now, as we planned, now let's have our class. It's about 30 minutes, and after that I will stop, and then after that I will continue our discussion, okay? So today I just prepared a sample lesson. It's about coordinate geometry.
Okay.
Okay, now you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So did you learn about coordinate geometry at school?
Mm-hmm.
So what did you learn? What do you know about this? Like the slope of a line, the distance between 2 points, and how to write an equation of a straight line. Did you learn all this stuff?
Yeah.
And how about the coordinate geometry of a circle?
I think so. I'll know when I see it.
Anyway, even if you know or not, assume that, for example, let's say within 1.5 months or 2, we are going to cover these topics, okay? The simultaneous equations, remainder theorem, and factor theorem. Number 2 is quadratic equations and functions, partial fractions, indices, surds, and logarithms. And then number 5 is coordinate geometry. So today's topic is, we will talk about coordinate geometry, not coordinate geometry of the straight line. Here we are going to talk about coordinate geometry of a circle, okay? A circle that is given in coordinate system. So when we are given a coordinate system, circle is given in a coordinate system, we are interested, number 1, where is the center of the circle? The center is very important, right, for a circle, because when we define a circle, how do you define a circle in geometry? It is a collection of all the points in the plane which are equidistant from a fixed point, right? A collection of all the points. Now we have a plane, let's say a paper, you just put a pencil, mark a point, and after that, if you just plot all the points which are equidistant in a paper, you draw something. The something is called circle, right? So we are going to talk about this in coordinate system. That is our circle, and here this is our center, and that is our plane. That paper is our plane. Okay, from here, all the points which are equidistant from this point. What are these points? These points and these points and these points. If you just pick any point here and measure the distance between this point and this fixed point, that is actually constant. It does not change. So the distance, we call this radius of the circle, right? That is, we call this radius. Okay, that's the radius. Also here, if you draw another straight line, the distance, it gives us radius. And here, it is radius. So this fixed point, we call this center of the circle, right? And this thing is all these points, we call this circumference. I mean, the length is circumference, and the shape is called circle, okay? But when we say coordinate geometry, if I just introduce two lines, when we say coordinate geometry, we think of the x-axis, right? And we just think of another axis. We call this y-axis. So here one horizontal line, another one is perpendicular line. And when they just intersect each other, we have just empty paper here. When we just introduce these two lines, actually, it makes a lot of calculations very easy. Why? Because now I can tell you the exact location of a point if you just give me the coordinates. Okay, now we are going to study about a circle in this coordinate system. Now assume that this is our circle, and when you just say a circle, the question comes, okay, circle, where's the center? And also center is here. In a coordinate system, as you know, every point is described by a pair of ordered numbers, right? If you just write, for example, here 2, 3, right? And I can tell you, where is 2, 3? To reach this point, actually describe one point, you have to move 2 units in the positive direction of x-axis, that is our x-axis, from the origin, right? This intersection point is origin, 2 units in the positive direction. And after that, 3 units upward in the positive direction of y-axis. Somewhere here, let's say this point, it gives us 2, 3. And another one, here for example, 3, 2. That means that to reach this point, you have to move 3 units from the origin, right? 1, 2, 3. And that's why we say that ordered pair. This order is important. 2, 3, 3, 2, they describe different, or they represent different points. So this 3, 2 means first we have to move 3 units in the positive direction of x-axis, and after that 2 units in the positive direction of y-axis. Why? Because these numbers are positive. Anyway, before we continue, I assume that in this coordinate system, if you are given 2 points, for example, let's say here, that is one point P, another point Q, and every point has coordinates, right? Let's say x coordinate is x sub 1, y coordinate is y sub 1, and here, another point here, let's say x coordinate is x sub 2, y coordinate is y sub 2, right? Amira, can you tell me how do you find the distance between these 2 points if you are given their coordinates? Let's say distance D, it is PQ. What should I write here? Do you remember?
Not sure.
Okay, if you're given 2 points, the distance between these 2 points or the length of this line segment is calculated by this formula, that is x sub 1, that is minus x sub 2 squared plus y sub 1 minus y sub 2 squared. Okay, if you just evaluate this and take the square root of this thing, it gives us the distance between any 2 points in the coordinate system. Maybe one point is here, another point is here, maybe one point is here, another point is here. Because before I explain this, as I told you, I assume that you must know these things, the distance between 2 points, and if you're given a straight line, you should know how to find it, the slope or gradient, how to write the equation of a straight line. I'm assuming that you know the things. That's why actually we are going to continue this topic based on these concepts. Okay. Now the question is, our objective here is, we have 2 objectives if you remember. Number 1 is we are going to learn how to find the equation of a circle given the center and radius. Okay. So if you are given, for example, the center of the circle and also it is radius, how do you write the equation of this circle? So we are talking about this thing here, the center of the circle. This is our circle, right? And also the center is given. That means that if you just pick any point on the circle and evaluate the distance between this point, that's a center, that's the same. That's why we call this center. And the distance, we call this radius, right? This is the radius. So pick any point. So here, this number, we are saying that it is given. That's why I'm using here h and k. These are given numbers. And also this radius distance is also given. I know this. But the question is, as you see here, if you just pick any point on the circle, for example here, right? Let's say pick another point here. This is represented by two pairs of ordered numbers or ordered pair, let's say, right? Another point, another point, another point. So this circle has exact location. That means that this x and y, they are related to each other by some rule. Okay, equation means a rule. Equation means that shows us how things are related to each other. If you're talking about x and y, if you write the equation, for example, let's say y is equal to 2 times x, right? It's an equation. And how many variables we have here? 2, x and y. So this equation describes us how these two quantities are related to each other, right? For example, here, it may be a lot of different things. For example, this x, it may represent, for example, let's say, what is it? Number of questions you are solving in math. Okay. And this y may represent the time taken to solve each question. For example, you are taking a test and you are just solving, maybe you do 10 tests in a month, all right? And you evaluate your average time. Okay, for each question, how many minutes you are spending. Okay, now after we finding out these things, you can actually see the relationship, right, between the time taken to solve each question, right? So this x, let's say, represents the number of questions you solve, and this y is the total time taken. So that means that this 2 means for each question it takes about 2 minutes on average. So I can write this relationship now. Actually, this equation may describe a lot of different things. I'm just giving you one example. How these two things are related to each other. We show this using equation in math. Okay. So write the equation of a circle means also cannot just write equation like this in x and y that shows us the relationship between x and y. What is x and y? It is a point on the circle. It may be here, it may be here, it may be here, it may be anywhere on the circle, right? That's why I'm using here x and y. These are variables, I don't know. But this r is given, this thing is given. Okay, now let's continue. So our aim here is to write the equation of the circle then. Because in math, if you just draw anything here, you may draw a straight line, you may draw a parabola, you may draw an ellipse, for example, you may draw some kind of weird thing. Actually, that's a graph of a function, okay? And you draw anything, I can write the equation of this graph, okay? Actually, some graphs are really important, like straight line, it's very important graph because it has a lot of application. And the circle also, very important graph. And parabola, very important graph. That's why it is worth to study about these things, okay? So now, we know actually in a coordinate system, if you are given 2 points, we know how to find the distance, right? I'm going to use this formula to write the equation of this circle, okay? So here, since if you just pick any point, the distance is, this one is, what is it? Radius. If you do anything again, this is radius, right? And here again, it is radius. Okay, these are all constant things. I just, to represent every point here, I'm choosing x and y. Since this thing is constant, it's not changing, right? If I use this formula, what we have here? Here we have this r, that distance here is r, is equal to, right? And square root of, here we have square root of, right? And here we have x sub 1 minus x sub 2, right? The difference of the x coordinates. What are the x coordinates here? Here we have x, right? X coordinate of this point is h. So the difference is x minus h. And what we have here? Square. So put square here. Plus, now the square of the difference of the y coordinates. We are talking about these two different points. And this is a fixed point. It is a variable point. It can be anything, but we have restriction. It must be on this circle, right? So now here we need to write the difference of the y coordinates according to this formula. So here we have y minus, how about the y coordinate of this point? It is k. So that is squared here. And just put this square root symbol here. Now We know that in math, if something equals square root of a, for example, this thing is equivalent to this, because if I square both sides, right, what we get here, r squared is equal to a, right? And using this thing, if I just square the left-hand side and right-hand side of the equation, nothing changes. It produces equivalent expression or equation. So if I express this, and also using this identity, if a equals b, that means that b equals a. The same things, right? I'm just going to write this on the left-hand side. What I get here then? So here I get x minus h squared plus, here we have y minus k squared. What do we have on the right-hand side?
We have r squared.
R squared. Okay. Now this is our equation. What is equation? Equation of a circle. If we are given the center of the circle and the radius, this is how we determine or write the equation of the circle. Okay. That is what we have to understand here. Now I will show you some examples. This h and k, these are things all given. And also if you just, for example, what is it? Expand this, I can write in different form. Okay, for example, if you expand this, what we have here? Let me change my pencil color so they can see the difference. Another one is if I expand this, can you expand this part? What is x minus h squared? Tell me, I'll write here.
Just x minus h times
X squared minus 2xh. Or first we need to write the constant, right? H is given number, x is unknown. So I need to write here hx plus h squared, right? That is a plus b squared is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. If it is minus a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Plus, if you expand the second term here, what do you get here? Y squared minus 2ky plus k squared, right? Now if I take this r squared on to the left hand side, minus r squared is equal to 0. If I just write this thing again, what I have here? X squared minus 2hx plus, or let me just write y squared first. Okay. Here we have x squared. Here we have y squared minus, I have something here in x, 2hx, something in y, minus 2ky. And this h squared is just a number, right? It's like maybe 25 or 33 something. K squared also given number. And we are just subtracting this instead of writing like something like 25 plus 7 minus 6. I can write like this, but in math, always we have to simplify this. Since I know the value of this thing, I know the value of this thing, I know the value of this thing, right? I don't have to write in this form. So if I just simplify this, I get something here. Let me just denote this h squared plus k squared minus r squared. It's just a constant number with c. That's the power of algebra, using auxiliary variable to denote something else. So here we have, what do we have here? Plus c is equal to 0. Okay. So what we get from here, if you just see any equation which is in this form, we have x squared plus y squared, 2 times something x minus 2 times something y, and plus constant number equals 0. So immediately you have to think of that. This is an equation of a circle. Okay. What is h here? This h is x coordinate of the circle. And how about this k? K is the y coordinate of the circle. Okay. Now from here I can find the radius. Okay. That is all the things about the circle in the coordinate system. Let's see a few examples. Question example 1, equation of a circle. Can you read the question?
Find the equation of a circle with center C, coordinates 2, 3, and radius 5.
So here, what we are given here is, we are talking about the coordinate system. Actually, even without drawing this, you should be able to find this because that's the coordinate system. That is why actually coordinate system is important. It's like navigation system. For example, if you know your house address, right? If you're just going to shopping mall, if you just give the name, immediately the navigator calculates how long does it take, what is the distance, how do they calculate using this formula. It is not that much simple because here that is a shape on the flat surface. Like navigate the system, we need to add one more parameter because our globe is spherical, it's not a circular. Okay, but the idea is similar. So here in the question it's saying that the center of the circle is given here. That is center whose coordinates are 2, 3. And the radius is given. That is the radius, right? That is r. The question is, what is the equation of this circle then? So by actually using that formula, what we have here? X minus h squared, h is 2. So here we have 2 squared plus, and here we have y minus k squared. What is k? It is 3. Here we have squared. And on the right hand side, what we have here? R squared, right? And what is r? R equals 5. So that is 5 squared. That is the equation of this circle. In the exam, for example, if they ask you, for example, leave your answer in the second form, for example. Also, we have to expand this. Then you can expand this. If you expand this, what we got here? X squared minus 2 times x times 2. That is 4x plus 2 squared. It is 4. And this thing, y squared, right? 2 times y times 3. That is minus 6y plus 3 squared. That is 9. And on the right hand side, what is 5 squared?
25.
25. As you see here, I have number here, constant number, constant number, constant number. I don't have to keep it like this, right? I can simplify this. Here we have x squared plus y squared minus 4x here minus 6y. 4 plus 9, 13, right? And takes it to the left hand side, 13 minus 25, it is negative 12 here. That is equal to 0. And because if you're going to take, for example, IGCSE exam or SAT in the US or A level or AS level, whatever it is, in UK system, when they ask a question, at the end of the question also they mention, for example, leave your answer in this form, okay? Or leave your answer corrected 2 decimal places, whatever it is. So according to the question, to the nature of the question, you write your answer. That is also answer. Actually, that's also answer. But I don't know actually in what form I should live here. That's why I am showing here both options, both forms of the solution. That's the first and second. They represent the same thing. Okay? In IGCSE, they actually mention exactly, you need to leave your answer in this form. You need to leave your answer in this form. In this form, for example, if they write here, leave your answer in this form, x squared plus y squared plus capital AX plus capital BY plus C is equal to 0. If they say here, leave your answer in this form, then I need to leave our answer in this form. Okay? Is it clear? Did you understand this solution?
Yeah.
All right. Now let's say a little bit more challenging, not challenging, but a bit different question. Can you read the problem?
Find the equation of a circle with diameter AB where A and B have coordinates 4, -3, and 2, 1, respectively.
Very good. In math, actually, when we are solving problems, first we have to read it very fast. It's just scan it. And after that, we have to read it one more time, a bit slowly. And also at the same time, you need to use your variable to denote the unknown. All right, find the equation of a circle. Okay, that is a question, right? I'm going to write the equation of this circle. Now, what is given here? It says that with diameter, what is the diameter? It's the longest chord of a circle. And actually, diameter is, what is chord? It is a line segment that joins any two different points of the circle. Maybe if you just draw another one here as chord, right? Another one here. Among these, the longest one is called diameter. Okay. As simply, diameter is 2 radii. Why? We know the diameter is, let's say D, it is 2 times radii. Why? Because diameter passes through the center of the circle. That is the center of the circle. Let's say it is O. So this is radius of the circle. This is radius of the circle. Let's say this one is R. That's also R. Okay. All right. Where A and B have coordinates. Let's say this one is capital A. Because endpoints are A and B. Coordinates of A is given 4, -3. And coordinates of B here, let's see, given, it is 2 and 1. Right? All right. Here, number 1 was the question, find the equation of a circle. To write the equation of a circle, how many pieces of information we need?
3.
2.
Okay.
Number 1, what is the number 1?
The x coordinate.
Center of the circle. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, because in the definition we say that a circle is, what is it? A collection of all the points which are equidistant from a fixed point. So if I don't know the fixed point, you cannot draw your circle. If somebody asks to draw a circle, you ask, right? Okay, where should I draw? So I need to know the center of the circle. Then I can draw this. Second question is, what must be the radius of the circle? So to draw the circle, we need 2 pieces of information. That is enough. Less than 2, we cannot draw a circle. More than 2, it is not necessary. 2 is must, and that is enough, sufficient. So number 1 is, I need to know the coordinates of this center. And let's say the coordinates of the circle is, the coordinates are A and B. Okay, so how do you find this A and B? And also in coordinate geometry, I assume that you must, or you should have learned this before. If you are given 2 points, A, whose coordinates are x sub 1 and y sub 1, and we have another point here, x sub 2 and y sub 2. It's a straight line, okay? Now, how do you find the coordinates of the midpoint of these 2 points? So that's a midpoint. This thing is equal to this thing, okay? Here, what are the coordinates of M? Is just equal to x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2. And y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. This is how we find the midpoint of a line segment, if we know the coordinates of the endpoints. Okay, so from here then, what is A? A is, it is a midpoint of A and B, right? Because it is a diameter, and that's a circle, that's a radius, radius. It means that these 2 line segments are equal to each other. OA is equal to OB. So from here, what is A? The sum of the x coordinates of the endpoints of the line segment. That is 4 plus 2 over 2, which is equal to 3. And how about B? Y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. So y sub 1 is -3 plus y sub 2 is 1 over 2, which is equal to, what is it? -3 plus 1, -2. -2 over 2, that's equal to -1. So the first thing, I got the first information. Now in my hand, I had the first information. The center of the given circle is, what is it? 3, -1. Right? Now I need the second thing. What is it? I should know the radius, right? How can I find the radius? And also this radius, we know that it is the distance between, what is it? The center of the circle, any point on the circle, right? So this radius is equal to OB or OA, doesn't matter, both are equal, which is equal. I need to find this distance. And using the distance formula, in the first slide actually, we know how to find the distance between 2 points. So I need to find the distance, right? Equals here x1 minus x2. That means that here x1, that is A, A equals 3, right? Minus x coordinate of B. What is the x coordinate of B? It is 2. So here we have 2 squared plus y coordinate of A, that is B. B equals -1. I have -1 here, minus, and the y coordinate of point B. Here we have point B. Y coordinate is 1 squared. That is a distance formula, right? Equals, I can just simplify this. Here we have 1 squared, that's equal to 1. -2 squared, that's equal to 4. 4 plus 1, that's equal to 5. Right? So now I know the center, I mean the coordinates of the center of the circle. I know it is radius. Right? So the radius of the circle is, what is it? -5. Now I can write the equation of this circle then. What is the equation of the circle? Here we have x minus x sub 1, that is A. What is A? 3. So here we have 3 squared plus y minus B. Here we have -1. Y minus -1, that's equal to plus 1 squared. On the right hand side, what we have here? R squared, right? So that is square root of 5 because our radius is square root of 5 squared. Okay, now I can simplify this. That is x squared minus 6x plus 9. I expanded this part, plus expand this expression, that is y squared plus 2y plus 1. On the right hand side, we have 5, and also take it to the left hand side, minus 5 equals 0. Now I can write the final solution. Let me just write it here. Dot, dot, dot. Therefore, in math, this means dot, 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 triangular dot. It means therefore. Therefore, the equation of the circle is x squared minus, not minus, y squared minus 6x plus 2y. 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. So here we have plus 5 is equal to 0. Okay. Or also you can leave in this form. Again, I don't know in which form I should leave the answer. That's why I'm just showing both forms of the answer. How is it? Is it clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's solve one more problem. Read the problem.
Find the center and radius of the circle 2x squared plus 2y squared minus 3x plus 4y plus 1 equals 0.
Okay. Now, how would you solve this problem?
You'd work backwards.
So that is just given in what form? Right? We know that if I divide both sides by 2, for example, nothing changed. What I get here? X squared plus y squared divided by 2 minus 3 over 2x plus 2y plus 1 over 2 and 0 over 2, that's equal to 0. Right? Now I can recognize this is something like this. Here we have x squared plus y squared plus capital AX plus capital BY plus C is equal to 0. Right? We know that any equation of this form gives us a circle, or that is equation of a circle. Okay, got it. Now it says that find the center. How can I find the center and radius? To do this one, actually I should write this in this form, right? X minus h squared plus y minus k squared over r squared. If we can write this expression in this form, then what is h and k? This h and k gives us the coordinates of the center of the circle. And how about r? This r gives us the radius of the circle, right? All right, so here I have to just regroup it first, write this in this form, because I need to form a perfect square from this expression. So here we have x squared minus 3 over 2x. I need something here, all right. plus, here we have y squared, and here we have plus 2y, plus I need something here, and take this 1 over 2 to the right hand side. Here we have 1 minus 1 over 2. Okay, we are just going to do very simple algebraic manipulation. Okay, now we know that if we are given something like this, x squared plus 2 times x times y plus y squared, for example. In algebra or math, we call this a perfect square. Why? Because I can write it as a square of algebraic expression. So as here, to be able to write in this form, I have to be able to write this thing in this form, right? So to be able to write in this form, what is missing here? Let me just rewrite here. This 3 over 2, 3 over 2. I can write it as 2 times 3 over 4, right? 2 times 3 over 4, simplify this, I get this thing. It's also an algebraic manipulation. I'm just multiplying by something divided by something. Nothing changes. So if I just write this 3 over 2 in this form, what I need here? I need the square of this number. So I should add the 3 over 4 squared. And also I should add the same thing to the right hand side, plus 3 over 4 squared. Now what we have here? Here we have just 2. 2 is 2 times 1, right? So to be able to write this in this form, I need here 1 square because 1 square is missing here. So again, I'm adding 1 square here. Also, I add 1 square here, right? Now, if you just cancel out, these two things cancel each other, this 1 squared, and take it to the left-hand side, I have this expression. I didn't do anything. Now, you'll see here, this thing, it gives us what? X minus 3 over 4 squared plus this expression gives us y plus 1 squared. On the right hand side, if we just simplify this, minus 1 over 2 plus 9 over 16 plus 1, right? And 1 minus half, it is half, and multiplied by 8. So that thing is equal to 17 over 16, right? So what I have here, 17 over 16, but I can write it as square root of 17 over 4 squared, right? So now actually I wrote this expression, or I have converted this expression into this form. They are exactly the same things. We just changed its shape. So actually I just wrote this in such a form that I need. Right? Hello? Alaykum assalom. Bahodir aka, men hozir ana Amira bilan dars qilib turganida siz yarim soatga telefon qilib yuboraman, maylimi? Xo'p. Tugash bilan qilaman sizga. Xo'p. Oops. Okay, Amira, now tell me. Green, let me just write the answer here. Open a small box here. What are the coordinates of the circle which is given by this equation? What is the x coordinate? Look at here, look at this equation. We got this equation, yeah, right? So it is in this form. What is h here? 3 over 4. Right?
Isn't it negative 3 over 4?
Sorry?
Isn't it negative 3 over 4?
3 over 4, right?
Yeah, but okay, yeah.
Okay, how about here? K minus k equals 1. So k equals negative 1. That is the center of this circle. And how about the radius? Radius of the circle is square root of 17 over 4. Okay. Amira, it's already 41 minutes. I think you have class. Is your father still there? Actually, we can continue this. It's just a sample lesson. to understand this, as I told you, you need to have some knowledge about coordinate geometry, like the distance between 2 points, how to find the slope, writing the equation of a straight line. That's why if it is not so clear for you, because of you might forget these things. Okay, it's just a sample lesson. That much is enough. Is your father there?
Yeah.
Mr. Farouk, right?
Yeah, Farooq, yeah.
Okay, very good. Also, I have a lot of friends from Pakistan. When I was working in Myanmar, I used to teach a lot of Pakistani students.
Okay. So where about are you now?
Actually, it was just sample lesson, already 40 minutes, because her mother told me that she has class at 2 o'clock, right?
Yeah. So yeah, what do you think about Amira? What's your assessment about Amira's mathematics?
Okay, let me share one thing with you.
Yeah.
Now you can see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Okay. How can I call him, Mr. Farouk or Farouk Bhai?
Yeah, Farooq is fine. Yeah, you don't need to add Mr. Farooq will do.
No, he wants to be called Farooq. Not
Yeah,
just-
Farooq.
yeah.
Farooq, yeah.
Have felt the two now.
All right. Actually, you know, Amira's mother told me that I need to give a trial lesson. This is what I did.
Yeah.
Actually, I have been doing this kind of private tuition since, a long time ago, since 2000. Right now, also I'm teaching at university. Before,
Yeah.
I taught at different international schools in Myanmar, in Turkey, in Uzbekistan, now in Cambodia. For about 5 years,
Okay.
I have been teaching at university. Anyway, so this is how I teach students. Okay, I teach the topic, and after that, if they have questions, I answer them. But after each class, I give them some assignments. Okay, because like transmitter and receiver. If transmitter is really good but receiver is weak, still we will have a problem. All right, when I give a homework or assignment, she must do this in time. If she doesn't understand anything, she should ask and bring the questions to the class so that we can discuss, so that I can see the students' progress. And at the end of each topic or chapter, I will give a short test. It's about 90-minute test, okay? And maybe after 15 days or like 1 month, again with parents, we should come together and discuss, okay? How is it going for you and for me and for the student? If everything is okay, we will continue. After all this math, in 1 or 2 months, we cannot see much progress. At least we need 3 or 4 months. After that, we will see. And now, what I'm thinking about Amira is, I'm going to send her 2 different programs, okay? That is what I'm thinking about her. Maybe we should start from here with her. The solutions to quadratic equations, indices and standard form, linear inequalities. Okay, you can have a look, all right? And for IGCSE, these are the most important topics, okay? If she knows, I go a bit faster. If she is stuck or if she has any questions, we go a bit slower. But right now, Amira's level, I don't know. Okay, we should start maybe after 1 week. I will give the exam and how she does the exam. Then after that, I can see our future. Okay.
Okay, lovely. Okay, good
Because
idea.
I asked a few questions now, because of her response, I think she might forget. I don't know how her math at school. Okay. And here, I'm here just to display how I teach, what kind of method I use, and what platform I'm using, and how I'm teaching students. I taught Amira almost exactly the same way I teach my students. I mean, even at universities or private students, okay? So I just prepare and teach and show them some examples, give them the theory, and after that, give them assignments, okay, all the chapters, and I tell them what question they have to solve, but also they should work a bit faster. If you do not go parallel with each other, actually, how to say, we may not reach our goal. And also for you and also for me, because you are teaching something, but the student's performance is not good. And maybe you are also expecting something, but maybe I cannot give something that you expect. So we should be very clear and open on this. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is all about me. Now, if you have any questions, please.
Okay, so what do you think about the frequency? Once a week, because we're thinking of if we carry on, it will be once a week, either Saturday or Sunday. And how long you actually deliver a lecture? Is it an hour and a half? How do you do that?
Lecture usually to my students at least 2 sessions. One session is 40 minutes because I use Zoom. Sometimes they have the restriction when it is more than 40 minutes, it automatically just cuts off. Okay, that's why I just make adjustment like 40 minutes, at least 2 sessions, maximum 3 sessions. Okay.
Okay.
Because more than 3 sessions also it will be boring for the students.
Okay. Okay.
So 2 and 3 sessions, maybe in a week, maximum 6, minimum 4. It will be enough for the students.
Okay.
Okay. Also, because after I teach, they must digest what they have learned, and also they have to practice the problems. All right. Otherwise, I just teach. I give them 2 days, for example. During these 2 days, if they don't do anything and come to the next class, I may continue teaching, you know, but the concepts actually will not be so clear for them. And after that, the problem gets bigger and bigger as we go, how to say, further.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's just a give and take, really. So whatever is given, you teacher would expect something back, which is very understandable, Abdul Hassan. Amira has online lessons at the moment with her school since coronavirus. She is one of the students who's privileged to work from home because they think she's capable. So what time does your lesson finish, Amira? We need to agree on timetable. Perhaps we can just,
Finishes at 4.
every single day?
Yeah.
Okay, so what about Fridays? You don't have lessons on Fridays?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. So Fridays,
she
I
may
may
English, she may have English.
It might come back though. I don't know what they're doing with the Friday lessons.
English is a extra lesson.
So Abdul Qasim, weekdays better for you or weekends?
Yeah, for me, any day is fine because my house is very close to my university, just 1 minute drive. So now I teach in my office, and also, as you know, because of this corona, we cannot go to Uzbekistan, so I'm going to spend my holiday here. So, and now next week is my last week. After that, I'm going to have holiday for like 3 weeks. I mean, 3 months. So I'm will be busy with teaching these kind of students. I have a few students like Amira. Okay, so it's no problem. Just for you, if possible, it should not be too late. For example, because the time difference is 6 hours. All right.
Yeah.
So I cannot teach like after 11 nights. It will be too late for me.
Yeah. So I think if we go ahead, it will be weekends because Amira finishes her school lessons by 4 o'clock. Or 4 o'clock will mean already your 10 o'clock. I don't think that will be appropriate time. So we will, if we pick any day, it will be either Saturday or Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday, each day, how many sessions? 2 sessions, 2 sessions.
That we will discuss. Yeah.
Okay, Saturday and Sunday. How about time?
Time, we also need to look into it, but it could be roughly the same time or a little earlier, maybe 11-ish.
If that's okay with you.
If that's okay with you, obviously, you need to also check what suits you.
Okay, actually for me, Saturday and Sunday, evening time means like for us, 6 to 12. 6 to 12 means in London time from 12 to 6.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
so
from 12 to 6, any time is okay for me, the Saturday and Sunday. For London time, 12 noon to 6.
Lovely, that's fine. We will find any time within that time slot, 12 to 6,
Okay. All right, now I will send you the one program for Amira. There are about 13 topics, okay? And also she has to look at these topics, and after that we will see. If she says that, okay, Mr. Qasim, we need to study all these topics, I will teach all the topics. If she says that this topics I know very well, you don't have to teach. I want you to teach these topics, and also it's fine for me. Okay.
Okay, lovely. For those topics, you can perhaps take her a test or something, so just to assess.
Yeah. Okay.
Just as a Okay, because thanks for your time. Is there anything you want to ask us?
Yeah, that's all. Just let me know, like at least 1 or 2 days earlier, the exact timetable, because I need to make a program. If you are sure, like at least maybe let's say make a program for 1 month. Okay, let's continue, because if you want to change something, I should know a bit earlier. Like the
Yeah, we'll
last
let you know
moment,
very
let's
soon.
say Amira says that, okay, 1 hour left today, I'm busy, I cannot take this class. It will not be enough, because I'll make all the plans accordingly. Okay, if there is a change or that you have to cancel the class, you should tell me at least 1 day earlier. It will be good for me. That's all.
Okay, lovely, brilliant, brilliant. So, okay, Abdul Qasim, we'll get back to you in a couple of days, or maybe sooner, and then we'll plan things accordingly. Okay.
Okay, all right. Nice to meet you again. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, bye bye.
You take care. Bye. Hijack.